Hello, I'm back with the next part. And as I said last, that now we are at where we're at with the journey to start. And like I said, it's been 10 years now. So, I'm going to go into this. So, basically, after we broke up, I kind of end up running into some. Well, this was someone I guess kind of was through like Facebook kind of message or something, and didn't really think anything of it. Just kind of off and on message or whatever. And then when when I finally broke up with my ex, then I remember just I think was we did a show a little bit after that, and I remember them being at the show and giving me a big hug, and they like seeing me and this and that, and they seemed to really dig me. So I like I said, I was kind of who I was, so I was oblivious to things, didn't really wasn't aware of what was going on in a sense. I was kind of like I said, oblivious to it. So we kind of like, well, off and on, I guess, but kept in touch. And I remember, I think it was like being at a party or something, and I guess she like touched me or something, and I remember her giving me like a stare. Don't remember a whole lot, but it was like some kind of cold stare. And I remember talking to a friend, asking, oh, they, this, she touched me, this and that, and they said, oh, just go basically stay guarded, or I forgot what was the saying, but basically just you know walk in and just be careful. But and then I remember people were making fun of me, because they overheard me talking to them, and I was, I guess, not really happy about that. But eventually, I met her, well, she's friend with someone I know, and basically end up finally one on one meeting up, and we went to the bar, and we had a great time. It just, I don't know, like I said, I was kind of who I was, and like I said, I don't remember a whole lot, but I remember she said you were not touching your drink, and I told her I don't even drink. And when I look back, I was didn't drink, but I became the drink only because other people did and because of peer pressure, and that's why I've kind of recently, after what happened last year, I have stopped drinking. And also, I want to mention that as I go on, all this next, rest of this is gonna not exactly correlate or be in order of how events occurred or happened. And I'm gonna kind of go from somewhere else to back here, this and that, because things are kind of intertwined, different times, and then also from something that happened a few years later that I don't exactly have the best memory anymore. So I will explain later. And like I said, things are just going to kind of be sporadic, spread out. Sometimes may not be in order of how things happened, but it's the best I can do. So back to that. I just remember, she took a picture of me, put it on her Instagram. We had a great time. I remember we all went to the Blues game together with my friends, and she just, we seemed to just have a great time. She just, was very friendly, very cool, and I remember though she said she's kind of seeing someone, and I was kind of stupid. I didn't know this was like kind of like a shit test type of thing, so I kind of just said, "Oh, you can, that's cool. You can hook me up with your friends or something," and that was, kind of like a weak response, but. Like I said, at the time I really didn't, I just was kind of going as, what I knew. So I just kind of went with the flow of how things were. And I ended up just, and she wouldn't like really hang out with me per se, but like I would go to events that she went to and shows. And I remember just kind of being into, what she was into, things like that, just kind of like following her lead. And that is not what's attractive to women. They don't want you to be following them like a puppy dog. but I was kind of doing that. And I remember like at one of the shows a certain song came on. I was like rapping it to her, and it was kind of a cool moment I had. But most of it was me just being kind of just oblivious and just not knowing anything, just kind of being there. And but I mean, I guess this kind of made me a little confident in myself and just things like that. But I wasn't exactly who I want to be. But it's fine, it is what it is. And then eventually, we hung out a few more times, and then basically she was flaking on me, and she was basically saying she was, making excuses to not see. She didn't want to see me anymore, and I got kind of upset and frustrated about it, and I kind of I think I got went off on her, kind of was kind of rude to her, but like I just, didn't know how to go about things. I was upset and mad, and I didn't really handle it properly. And also, I kind of, like I said, I find out later about a disorder I have, but I was kind of thinking when she was either doing things or posting certain things, I just thought it was about me or something. And so I don't know, I was kind of in my mind about stuff, but it really didn't, mean anything. But like I said, I found out later about things being multiplied about what's wrong with me. And like I said, they make a big deal about anything. But at the end of the day, she wasn't into me, and I told her, can you be with me? I want you to be with me. So I don't want to be with you. Stop contacting me. And it was just a little bit of a crush to me. The ego was embarrassing, depressing. And I remember I tried to have a friend talk to her, and she's like, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, I was just, an idiot in the situation. But like I said, you live and learn. And so from there, it kind of put me down a rabbit hole, and I was really, depressed, and I was really trying to find out what was wrong, what's the problem with this situation. And basically, in a sense, I was I friend zoned. I wasn't really, showing attractive traits all the way, not leading the escalating, things like that, and not making it happen. She was even saying I would have came out your way, which I should have done, had her come out my area and then let her to my place. But I didn't do that. Like I said, I didn't know how you should have done things. I just kind of just said, just hang out with her, give her what she wants, and I just thought that's what you do. So I kind of went with that. And then, like I said, I was looking into stuff, researching, and I ended up stumbling upon something or somebody that I wanted to work with, who had success with different people, had testimonials, and he has a program you can work with him. So I really wanted to work with him, but I was kind of holding off on it. But I was gonna do it, but I was kind of in a sense just trying to get out of this funk, and I did dating a couple more people. One of them was kind of off on not too long into something I got into, but I just remember she didn't have a very good scent. But I mean, I don't know, someone I wasn't extremely attracted to, but I just kind of was there and having it, and I guess it was just nice to date someone. And then someone else I dated, I was attracted to. We hooked up the first night, and we dated for about 3 months, and basically she was starting to get negative and complaining I was using a coupon, things like that, and she ended up cutting me off. And then I remember being upset. I went to her place, I wrote a letter, I made a CD or something, and she was looking at me what the hell's wrong with you? But I was trying to do this, doing that thing, trying to be, being the beta, trying to win them over with affection, things like that, showering them, and they don't want that, they don't want that stuff. But like I said, I wasn't aware, didn't know this. So, and I was about to meet someone, go out on a date with somebody. And basically, I think it was, I believe, that day or the day after I was going to meet them. But I was meeting my family, and I got off a highway, and it wasn't a good day. I was kind of in an argument. with work, things like that. And I wasn't in the right headspace, and I got off the highway and I went for a second off. I guess I went in the wrong direction, the wrong lane, and then I ended up going. I realized that I went back to the right lane, and then I basically got head on with somebody. He was trying to move out my way. We got in a head on collision. I was going pretty fast, and yeah, I was freaking out. My left arm was basically, my bone was sticking out, and I didn't really, I guess, feel the pain, but I was freaking out because it was kind of like a rush, like adrenaline rush, and I saw my bone sticking out of my arm, and it was just not a great sight, and I was just freaking out. I said, just take me now. I wanted to be done with life, and my right leg was basically all messed, my hip, my knee, and my foot crushed, and I was just wanting to be done. And I remember being taken to the hospital, and my last thing I saw was my family, and they were just, everyone felt bad, and I wish I didn't bring that upon them, but it just happened, and I remember them putting me to sleep, and I don't remember much because it was like off and on. I was asleep, I woke up asleep, so it was like a week, but they didn't put me in a full week because I would be losing cells and things like that. They didn't want to put me to get sleep for a whole week, but they put me a little bit out of sleep, then they put me back to sleep because I was in a lot of pain, basically. So they really had to keep me asleep for a week. So I was put to sleep for a week, and from what I remember, apparently I was seeing things. Like I saw my IV was like filled with cheese or something. I was on like some kind of really bad, the drug that Michael Jackson was on or something. And I was seeing things, like I saw someone in my room that was like dancing. I can't really remember what was going on, but I was seeing things, hallucinating. So it was very strange. And then I was telling my sister to call that girl, and she ended up showing up to the hospital with her friend that I was supposed to go out with. And I guess they felt really bad. And basically, we had one-on-one time, and we just literally instantly, I don't know what it was, but we were starting to make out, and she came on top of me, we were making out and this and that. And I remember telling her we couldn't do it because I said I'm in a cast and everything. I can't really have sex, and I think that kind of like turned her off, because I couldn't really move. I was casted up. I couldn't really move or anything. I couldn't really and basically a little bit after that, she left, and I didn't hear from her again. Like, she ghosted me. So that was, basically kind of like me seeing things like, well, you gotta basically can't be, laid up, or, it can't be in a certain predicament, unless you really have something with someone, because most people don't want to have to deal with it. So, yeah, but I was still kind of off and on with this one person, but the one I wasn't really into. But we ended up, she came over and seen me stuff for a few times, but eventually she quit seeing me. She was done, so she didn't see me anymore. But I remember being in the hospital. Friends would come by, visit, and I did a rap. So I did rap, my Decade Dynasty, my 10-year anniversary rap album, and I did song in the hospital, I remember. And also, when I got taken back home, I did music. So that was nice. I did that. So, and I had to stay at my dad's, and I had to stay there for months. And I had my friends over, my best friend, my mom. We all come, stay over, this and that. It was nice. And also this other lady friend that I met before the accident, very cool. We hung out a few times. We're friends to this day, just friends. And she came over, and I had people check on me, things like that. And people worried. I had a lot of worry, and I appreciate everybody. And so I was laid up for a bit, for a while, recovering. So for the most part, obviously, I was a little disappointed because I wanted to work with that coach, and I didn't get to do it because I was out of commission. So I didn't really get to do that. So this was for about till the end of the following year and a half, that I was in this like predicament where, well, it was for the rest of the year where I was in bed, I couldn't move or anything. That was finally back home, but for that year I was kind of like immobile, and we wanted to take time for me to fully recuperate. I had a cast, then I had a brace on, so for a while I didn't 100% walk, normally, or without support. So it was for about a year I was like, kind of out of commission. I didn't work, things like that. My family good to me, took care of me, and bless their heart, everybody, my family that made sure I was okay. So yeah, that I was recovering from all that. And I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really date much, but I had hooked up with one person, came over, and I didn't see them again. Then this one person I met off a match, which I tried. They signed me up, helped me sign for a match. I did. I met this one person. We dated somewhat. I was somewhat into them, but not, it wasn't 100%, but I was just, kind of dating them, so I have someone to date. So, and that, I was kind of like an off and on thing. And so that's kind of how that would say is going. And this was this part. So, like I said, this stuff is going to be kind of like sporadic and go kind of different directions of how things happen. And I have it all noted, what I can say. And if I may have to also want to mention, make separate parts if I left things out. And also I can't remember everything. I don't remember everyone I've met or interactions. So 100% not everything. I've met over in the thousands of women, probably in the 10,000s. So I'm not going to remember everything or everybody, and everything's not going to be mentioned 100%, but the ones that have the most memory or detail are the ones that had, most of somewhat of an impact or had at least something with some kind of remembrance of will be noted here. So this is this part, and now what I'm going to go into the next part is, the next person that dated for a short period of time that had an impact on me, and that I want to talk about. So that's going to be on the next part. So like I said, thank you everyone for continuing to listen on this journey that I'm on, and thank you.